Hello everybody, my name is Spade and welcome back to NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. This episode, Talladega. Like I said at the end of the last episode, great chance for us to rebound after Martinsville and Richmond did not go the way that we had hoped. I mean, I'm happy with the finish at Richmond, all things considered. 19th, we did not deserve that compared to the way that we were running throughout the rest of the race, but we got it, so I'm not going to complain. Talladega, we need a win, and we need a win soon. I'm going to give it all I got this race. So let's see if we can get the 18 Toyota to victory lane. I'm excited for this one, so let's just jump straight to the garage. Welcome to the garage. No practice and no qualifying as per usual in these super speedways. And if you look at the car, decided to break out a new scheme for this event. We haven't run this Stanley car yet. Hopefully it can give us some good luck for this event, an event that I have high hopes for. Starting in 38th, we got 24 laps to try to make it to the front and get this victory. If this is anything like Daytona, we have a pretty good shot to come home with a win today.
Coming to the green. Ready. All right, let's go.
And we are green at Talladega. The one notable difference for me between this track and Daytona is that we actually have some allies starting to gain with us now. Some rivals too, and not rivals, but some people that are angry with us. But with people finally starting to get, us getting a good reputation and people starting to get, friendly, we might be able to get some better drafting help. And I'm going to jump down to the bottom quick as we get a huge run on that restart and able to get past Quinn House. 6 laps in this stage, plenty of time for us to get to the front, plenty of fuel to make it all the way. So let's just focus on getting up there. And Joey Gase is already making a move to the outside. He just kind of slid up the track pretty quick, so we're already gaining spots. The 2 drivers that dropped to the back were Kurt Busch, and I'm not actually sure who the other one was.
Stay low. Got a car high now.
But Kurt Busch, after a second place finish last week, is starting from the rear this week. We'll see if he can make his way back up to the top. We're hitting the double yellow line there, but we've already made our way up to 32nd in 1 lap. 5 more to go around this 2.5 mile super speedway. See if we can try to catch up to the rear bumper of James Davison. It looks like Austin Cindric wants to push us. If I remember correctly, he was pretty big help to us at Daytona, but he's going to give us a huge shove down the back straightaway. We're going to be able to catch right up to this 15 Chevrolet. Car's a little bit tight, but overall not too bad. I'm pretty happy with the handling, considering we didn't practice. Going to get underneath the 15, and after 2 laps, we're in the top 25. So that's pretty huge. So far, this Stanley number 18 is doing us some favors. Stage points, we haven't gotten them in a while. Might be a good chance to finally get them. So we're going to get another huge shove from the 33. We're going to try to push Alfredo on the bottom if he wants to go, but he doesn't. But maybe Cindric will push us enough that we can stay underneath him going into the corner and try to gain some more spots. I think that is Bubba Wallace up front. He seems to be so strong on these restrictor plate races. Do they even use restrictor plates anymore? I thought I heard that they don't use restrictor plates anymore at these tracks. I'll have to do some research on that. So now we're going to work with Ty Dillon, but he's going to slide up the track because of him wanting to draft with me and being in front of me. So we're not able to quite get underneath him. I have no help to get around him, and for some reason, does the back of the car say Burton? It does. So it looks like Harrison Burton might have drove this car and not Ty Dillon. Interesting. Alright, we are up to 14th position. So we're almost to the top 10. Stage points would be huge. It's been so long since we managed to get any. Oh, man. Course of caution had to come out. Not going to let us race to the end. But hey, 14th, we're going to go in, take 4 tires and fuel, loosen up the car a little bit. And next stage, I'm really going to hope that we can get some stage points. Gained 3 spots on pit road, and I think that was because we only took 1 can of fuel. And that's all we needed to get back to full. And we are back under green. We are currently in 11th, just on the outside looking in for some stage points. I'd love even a stage win. We only have one of those this season so far. I'm going to get underneath Buescher pretty early on, get the draft from Kyle Larson, and pull right up to his bumper. I think that's our teammate Truex right in front of Larson. We might be able to give him a shove and get him up to the lead. No, it's actually Austin Dillon. It just looks there. Yeah, the two best pro shops look very similar. And look who's next to us. It's Christopher Bell racing up here in the top 5. Good for him. Gonna dive underneath the number 5 Hendrick Chevy and try to pull right up to Austin Dillon's bumper. He has been so solid recently. The last like couple races he's been racing like super well, and he's actually raced his way into the top 16. So I'm honestly a little bit surprised by that. I thought he would be like a middle of the pack kind of guy. But we do lose some positions. Nobody's working with us on the bottom, so I'm going to try to pull up to our teammate's bumper and see if we can try to get up here and start pulling away from some of these guys a little bit. I mean, we're 2 laps in, or not even. We're on lap 2 of this stage of 7 total. You know, there's no need to do anything stupid this early. I just got to ride. I mean, the worst that happens is that we get a caution and I end up finishing 3rd instead of potentially 1st, but it is what it is, and maybe we can get underneath Larson here and try to pull away, but I can't quite tell what Bell wants to do. Alright, we are going to jump underneath Larson. I'm going to try to push Christopher Bell into this lead. We're underneath him, racing side by side, and he has no help on that outside lane, so we're going to take our teammate up to the lead, but we are drifting up the track. Now Larson wants to draft with us, but if I can stay on Bell's bumper where we might be able to push him and try to get away from the pack ever so slightly. Got about a 1/10 of a second now. We'll see if that grows any. But the car is going to want to drift up the track just because he's not going to stay low with me on his bumper. It's so dumb. I hate that. I wish he wouldn't lock up with me. Like, I would still want him to make the move on Larson there, but I don't want him to lock up on me, because then we drive up the track and then we lose all of our speed, because I'm not even pushing him anymore. I don't know what I can do differently. Guess it keeps things interesting, though. Maybe if he'll get behind me and push me, but that doesn't help us when we get out to the lead, because then he'll just separate. But he is going to push me, so I'm going to make a dive to the inside, but he's a little bit too far away, and we're going to lose his drafting help. But we already have such a huge run on the inside that we're going to be able to force things to be 3 wide coming through turns 3 and 4, unless the car outside of Bubba has decided to drop off. So we're getting a huge run from Christopher Bell behind us. He might shove us into the lead, and we might be able to lead this lap if we can beat Dylan to the line. The start-finish line's not in the center of the tri-oval, it's just past it. Let's see if we can take the lead before we hit the stripes. And we do. We lead. Lap number 4 of stage 2 at Talladega. And we're going to win the stage due to a caution. That was the perfect time to make that pass. Absolutely perfect. That could not have worked out any better. We finished first. Our teammate Christopher Bell in second. That's huge. We're going to pit. I'm very happy with how the car is performing. We're going to take 1 can of fuel, 4 tires, and we can almost make it to the end of this race. I think we're going to be 1 lap short on fuel.
All right, you're coming to the green. Ready.
And we are back under green at Talladega. Final stage of the day.
Stay low.
10 laps remaining, 9 laps of fuel, so we're just we're 1 lap short, pretty much is what I'm trying to say here. We get a huge restart and the bottom lane gets going. Doesn't look like Christopher Bell in that 20 machine and the top lane want to get moving, so they are falling quick. Putting the block on Austin Dillon, but now Almirola is leading a charge on the outside, and they're already racing 3 wide behind us. We're going to try to hold them off for as long as we can, but again, I don't want to wreck out of this race. And I know I can't DNF, but I can still wreck and drop all the way to the back and not be able to push my way back up front. We're just going to try to stay ahead of Busch. No, he doesn't race. That was forever ago that Busch was in the 2. This is Brad Keselowski. It's back when the 2 car was a Dodge, right? He's going to try to make a move on the outside, and they're going to be too wide again, so I have 2 lanes to try to block. I'm going to take the bottom lane, as it looks like they're getting the run right now, and we do lead another lap here at Talladega. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to hold on to the lead for. I'm going to try to hold on to it for a little while. I'm just going to keep putting blocks on, but again, I don't want to wreck. And now they're racing 3 wide, as that's Logano coming up the middle. Gotta love having all of these Penske cars behind me. Because they're not dominating every week, you know. I can't tell if that yellow car is Di Benedetto, if that's Bell, or if that's actually the other Penske driver in Blaney. I'm only like looking out of my mirror right now. I think that's Blaney, actually. We lead another lap. Getting better at trying to hold these guys off and blocking. But I am like only looking behind me right now. And it's working. But I also think the AI is being a little bit patient. This is the hard part. When they're doing this, like each lane gets a little bit of a run. We'll just keep it on the inside around the corner though, because that seems to be the preferred lane, and they're 3 wide now. William Byron making it work on the outside. Hit the apron a little bit. That's going to slow us down. Dylan's going to try to get a run, but we are going to put the block on. Look at that middle lane flying. That's Logano in that middle lane leading that charge. I'm going to try to block both, but it looks like William Byron wants to get a huge run on the outside. We lead another lap at Talladega. And I didn't even see Byron up on the outside, but now that we're not the leader anymore, Dylan's going to come and give us a push to try to get us back in front of William Byron. We'll see if we can actually get past him. We're racing side by side down the back straightaway, but we do have the inside lane, which is preferred and a little bit quicker on this track. And now that we have the lead, Dylan's going to fall off, and Byron's going to be able to take this from us around the corner if Logano keeps pushing him. But we are at a side by side. This is a drag race right now between the two of us. The 18 and the 24. Dylan, now that Byron has the lead, Dylan's going to come and give us a shot down the front stretch through the tri-oval. Let's see if we can get past Byron coming to the line. We hit the double yellow, racing side by side, door to door, and Byron is going to lead that lap. So the first lap we have not led this stage. And honestly, a caution now would be pretty huge. That way we don't have to worry about green flag pit stops. And now that we didn't have the lead, Dylan's going to give us a shove. He's going to try to get to our quarter panel. We get slightly turned trying to make that block. Probably should have just given it to him in hindsight, but we keep the position, and we are the leader at Talladega once again. Back to trying to block. Byron gets a run in that middle lane, but I had to drop to the bottom to try to block Austin Dillon, who has just been an absolute thorn in my side. And look at that outside lane getting a run again. Byron's lane is fast. He is a fast car for this event. He drops down to the middle to put the block on, I think, Logano. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on behind me. Like, I know I'm only looking in the mirror, but I'm trying to focus on so much right now. And I cannot stop this. I cannot get to the top lane to drop to block Logano. He is getting such a massive run. Nothing I can do about that. Yep, he's there. Gotta give it to him. But now we're going to come get a shove, as I'm going to give Byron the middle lane. That way I can get Austin Dillon pushed up to my bumper, and I don't know what's going on through that corner. Things just got a little bit crazy there with Logano driving to the inside. Alright, but we have no one to our outside. We are all clear, so I'm going to push Logano, and he is going to lead this lap at Talladega. He's going to lead lap number 20. 4 laps to go in this event. Pulling away from Austin Dillon ever so slightly, but he now is my drafting partner, so he's going to suck right back up to our bumper here momentarily. So I'm just kind of pushing Logano around the bottom lane here. Like, this is what I want. I don't want him to be my draft partner, because as soon as he becomes my draft partner, it causes issues. I just want to push him. Just like this. I want to follow his preferred lane. That's what I want. And he's choosing the bottom, and we can actually stay around the bottom now that he's not my partner. Unless I actually make a mistake. This is great. Now I'm curious when people are going to start making pit stops. Should be soon. So I get underneath that double yellow. That's not where I want to be. Rano's going to lead lap number 21. And here comes the pit stop. We are going to take no tires, no damage. We're taking 1 can of fuel. Honestly, half a can. No, one, just in case there's some OT. We'll take 1 can of fuel, and hopefully we're still up near the front. I don't need tires. It doesn't make sense. We lost 6 positions. But NASCAR overtime, green, white, checkered.
All right, you're coming to
We've been able to block this race. We've been strong at blocking. This is definitely doable.
Careful, still there. 2 laps to go.
Gonna dive to the inside pretty quickly. Kurt Busch is gonna jump to the middle, then try to come back down low, but I was able to get my nose there and take that bottom lane from him. Gonna push right up to Quinn Hauf's bumper. Austin Dillon on that outside. That outside lane never seems to get going, as Kevin Harvick is now on our bumper. Lap and a half remaining at Talladega.
Stay on the bottom here.
Gonna try to jump underneath Quinn Hauf and push right up to Chase Briscoe's bumper. And if I'm not to win this race, I do not want Logano winning it. It's that simple.
All clear.
Like, he has been absolutely dominant. And I'm ready to put an end to that reign of terror. Doesn't matter who leads this lap. It only matters about who leads the next one. Coming to the white flag right now. Through the tri-oval. Only got one more trip through there, this event. We are all cleared from the drivers behind us. Chase Briscoe is your leader. We are up to 2nd place. Last time around, turns 1 and 2, heading to the backstretch. Chase Briscoe is our drafting partner, which means we're going to slide up the track. So I'm going to make a dive to the inside here and see if I can get a slingshot around him. Not going to happen. We're going to fall back behind him. Worried about Kevin Harvick behind us. I just don't know if I can actually get around Chase Briscoe without any pushing help. I don't know if it can happen, but he's going to take the high lane, which is going to give us a run on the bottom, and we are making a battle for the lead. We are going to be racing side by side with Chase Briscoe. We are currently your leader, as Ryan Newman's getting a huge run on the bottom. And wow, look at that run that Briscoe has. Looks like he's getting a shove. Quinn Hauf coming right up through the middle with such a huge run. I didn't even see him coming. And Quinn Hauf is going to win. And we're going to finish 4th? What? If I saw Hauf getting that run, I didn't even see him. I was so focused on Newman. If I saw Hauf getting that run, I can block that. Somehow we finish 4th? Oh, I thought we could have won that one. As soon as we got underneath Briscoe, I thought we had it won. How did Quinn Hauf get that run? Man, that's disappointing. But still, top 5. Good way to rebound after the last 2 races not ending that well. We were strong today. Let's go look at the race results. Looking at the race results, Quinn Hauf is your winner. And I think my biggest pet peeve out of all of this is the fact that Cole Custer got 3rd place by 1/1000th of a second. Look at the time difference. 16 minutes, 0 seconds, and then .327. I had a .328. But Quinn Hauf wins. Chase Briscoe takes 2nd. Cole Custer 3rd. We take 4th, and we win the 2nd stage of the day. Ryan Newman in 5th. Kevin Harvick takes 6th. Joey Gase in 7th. Kyle Larson 8th. Austin Dillon drops to 9th. And Austin Cindric will take 10th. The difference between 1st place and 10th place is just over 0.3 of a second. Joey Logano ends up finishing 11th. First stage winner Justin Haley will take 15th. Brad Keselowski drops all the way back to 18th. 21st through 30th, this is where we'll find our teammate Christopher Bell, who we worked with up front early on. He ends up finishing 28th. William Byron back to 23rd after racing us side by side for the lead for a couple of laps. 31st through 40th, this is where we'll find Alex Bowman. Bubba Wallace, after leading some in the first stage, finishes 38th. And James Davison and Denny Hamlin, both DNF. Let's see how this race changed the points. Looking at the points, Joey Logano is 48 points ahead of Chase Elliott. Those guys are 1 and 2. Kyle Larson in 3rd. Kevin Harvick 4th. Ryan Blaney in 5th. Brad Keselowski in 6th. Then we have 3 Gibbs drivers with Hamlin in 7th, Truex in 8th, and we have moved up to 9th. And Austin Dillon has made his way into the top 10. Race winner Quinn Hauf is currently in 30th, so he is going to take a playoff spot. He is currently in the playoffs by 4 points. So another driver to keep an eye on. Timmy Hill is back to 33rd. So Quinn Houff and Timmy Hill both fighting to stay inside the top 30. That way they can use their wins to make their way into the playoffs. Fastest lap of the day goes to Austin Dillon with a 47.375. Most laps led, we did that with 8 laps total, but we fell apart on the last lap like normal. On the move, Quinn Houff started 37th and ends up finishing 1st at Talladega. And tough break for Denny Hamlin. Started 6th, comes away with a 40th place finish after DNFing. After having some time to really sit down and think about that race and what had happened, I don't know if I would have won that race if I held off Quinn Houff. If I jump in front of Houff and I notice the block, I was looking in my rear view at Newman. I didn't even see the middle lane in the run that they were getting. So Houff is able to just blow past me with what didn't seem like any drafting help. It was weird. But I was so focused on Newman that I didn't even see him coming. But even if I did see him and put a block on him, I think that nets me a 2nd place finish. I don't think there's any way that I beat Chase Briscoe in that situation. And jumping over here and looking at the points, Briscoe is currently sitting in 21st. So I honestly think it's better that Briscoe didn't win that and instead Quinn Houff did. Because if Briscoe wins that race, then that puts us 1 spot closer to being knocked out without a win. Houff, the likelihood of him staying in the top 30, it's possible, but low. And Justin Haley has been very hit or miss. So if he has a couple good races, Houff is knocked out of the playoffs, even with his win. So him falling, there's a chance that he falls out of the top 30 that there just isn't that chance with Briscoe. So it makes it less necessary for us to get a win if Houff falls out of the top 30. Still, would be very beneficial to get a win, but not necessarily required if some of the wins go to the drivers outside the top 30. The moral of the story is, if I wasn't to win that race, it's better that Houff won instead of Briscoe. However, if I block Houff, I come away with a 2nd place finish instead of a 4th place finish. That was still a very, very fun race, and I look forward to the next episode where we go to Kansas. I'm thinking that's going to be another almost top 10, like 15th or better. I'm feeling pretty good about Kansas, but we will have to wait and see next episode based on qualifying, and if the race goes our way, or if we get involved in any accidents, things can change super quick. Also with the 2 cautions, those stages do get cut down a little bit more than I had previously anticipated, so sorry for the bit of a shorter video. Regardless, thanks for tuning in and spending your time with me.